Hello and welcome to Strummin' and Gummin'. The musical series or playlist inside the Living and Active channel. My name is Leland. This series exists to kind of help bring back, in any way I can, the old tradition of gathering together in an informal setting while holding your instrument of choice and just sitting around and talking about whatever comes up to talk about. So let me introduce the star of tonight's video. And by the way, in the introductory video, I had a problem keeping my promise as to when I was going to shoot and release the video. I said I was going to be getting it done on a Wednesday. I got it done 42 minutes past Wednesday in my time. But tonight I'm pleased to report that I am not a liar in any of the 4 continental time zones in North America. I would rather have preferred to be able to release it earlier in the day so people can enjoy it, but maybe this would be a good video or series for people to find on Sundays. If I ever get cool enough to have premieres and things like that, I might schedule them for Saturday evenings. I don't know yet. So anyway, to start of tonight's video, this beautiful instrument is a Recording King Dirty 30s size 0 Wrangler acoustic guitar. I just received this yesterday, unboxed and tuned it, and fixed the strap today. I figured since it was called Wrangler, it was only fitting that I use something akin to hay bale twine to tie the end of the strap to the headstock. Now, Recording King, the brand, actually was originally a Montgomery Ward brand back in the day when all of the major the major outlet stores that you had to, not outlet stores, but the major department stores that sent out catalogs and everything, they all had their own brands of whatever. Recording King was Montgomery Ward's brand of musical instruments. They've been revitalized now, and they are marketed as budget-friendly but good quality instruments that can withstand a little bit of kind of the abuse that comes from being in the hands of a beginner musician that's just getting into playing in public, outdoors, whatever. So, because I am a self-taught beginner, laughingly called musician, and because this is a brand new guitar, that this is literally the first time I've played it after tuning it, things might sound a little crunchy, and I'm fine with that. But there's a set of 3 Recording King instruments that I want to get. This one, the uh, Wabash Blue Recording King size 0 resonator guitar that you see in one of my shorts videos. And there's also a 4-string tenor open back Recording King banjo that I would really like to add to this set. I think that'd be a good mix. Resonator, a guitar, and a banjo, all the same brand and intended design. Now I just gotta find friends to play with. By the by, I have this tuned in open D tuning, which is something that I, as a quadriplegic, am appreciative of because it makes chording many of the major chords much, much easier. Open D, very beautiful. Let me take a spin at this without the thumb pick. I'm not fretting anything. It's all open strings. So the reason why this is an open D is because, as you just heard, playing all open strings fingerstyle, beautiful melodies, and you can actually build and accompanying yourself with bass lines and whatever else, rhythm. Plus, it has the added benefit of all of the chords. If I can just get a finger across the frets at where the whole notes are, the major chords, open D, uh, D sharp, E, E. But anyway, it's open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret. If I did that right. But the reason that's important is because for hands that, like I like to say, I have 2 half a hands. Don't really have to worry much about chord shapes. All I need, even if I just got like a slide or something to put on my finger to make the bar chord on all the major chords, I can still play fairly decently as long as I know the major chords of the song. It won't be spot on perfect with the album version or the radio version that everyone's used to. But it'll be close enough to count. If I'm only playing like, rhythm, like backup or whatever, someone else's lead. And it makes it much easier for me to just pick at something and find something I like and work on it. in case you're wondering, open D tuning is D-A-D, starting from the bottom string, the low string. Yes, guitarists have their stuff labeled weird. This is considered the bottom string because it's the lowest note. So it's D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Now, over the summer, before I got distracted by a good many other things, unfortunately, I was working with a couple rehabilitation centers and the local Aging and Disability Resource Center as kind of support, as it were, because of the story I told in the first episode of the series about for the hours and days where I could just lay there with my musical peanut across my chest and pick away at Rahab's Lament and ruin my fingernails. I've been working with some of these organizations, agencies, whatever, and facilities to try to put instruments in the hands of dementia patients or patients recovering from some sort of traumatic injury, sudden onset disability, or whatever, just so that people can see that they can still pursue, like if they used to be into music and they think they can't do it anymore, or they've always wanted to get into music and, like me, always had some kind of reason why they weren't allowed to or weren't able to or whatever, or it didn't make sense for them to do at that time. Now that they have opportunity, discovering something new and fulfilling that can bring joy to them and a sense of purpose, maybe when they're feeling like they've lost their usefulness because of the injury, disability, or whatever. So open D tuning is easiest for that to happen. If someone has lost the use of their left hand, they can still lay a guitar across them if they're uh, on bed rest or whatever. Someone can still hand them a guitar and open D tuning, and they can sit here and pick. Occupying their hands, that still works, and their mind, and potentially helping them not just sit there and simmer in their own juices, growing more and more forlorn or deeper into despair, or maybe bitter or angry or whatever. And then as they come across things, as they get better, their finger picking skills or whatever, and they start in open D tuning, being able to create beautiful melodies with the one hand that they can use, and the other people around them, the nurses, whatever, actually start voicing appreciation and congratulations for their achievements, it helps. So Rahab's Lament, that I played in the last thing, that is standard tuning. Musical Peanut is the only guitar I have that is in standard tuning. Everything else is open D. So there's that. I said in the last video that there was an idea that I had that I'm kind of hoping I can generate some interest in. I have no idea how long it's going to take these videos to actually drum up the kind of interest. I have no idea how long it's going to take my channel to drum up the kind of interest and traffic that's going to benefit the spread of these things. By the way, for all of my recent subscribers, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Don't know who you are. I don't look to see who you are. So no worries about that. appreciate you coming around, checking it out, and subscribing. I'm not going to beg anyone to click like or subscribe. You're all adults with free will. You all can do as you please with a clear conscience before the Lord. And I'm pretty sure that most of the things that I do in this channel are not important enough to demand the time and attention and energy of the vast majority of people. So those of you who do choose to subscribe, to watch, to like, to comment, it's greatly appreciated. But anyway, the thing I wanted to kind of discuss, and more so maybe as more and more people come to these things, if I can set up a way people can come to these things and can communicate directly in live chat, which would be great. Sort of a further along kind of way of thinking about the people that are currently still scrambling for even basic security, sustenance, warmth, whatever after Helene. It was more than supplies and buildings that were lost and swept away in the floodwaters. You know, not only were the porches that people might sit and gather around on, obviously we all know that many of the people who would be gathered on those porches were also lost. There's one undeniable aspect of Appalachian culture and the people of Appalachia that has always helped them heal, to recover, and to remember the loved ones that have been lost in previous catastrophes. And that's their music. And this is true of any traditional folk type culture. Their traditional music is absolutely central to who they are, how they express their sense of community, their faith in many cases. And faith is a hugely integral part of Appalachian people. So my thought is, because I have this attention on people going through dementia, and the notion comes from the knowledge that many people are already using music to try to help dementia patients retain as much as possible of those neurological pathways by getting them in front of a musical instrument that they used to play, that they can play almost reflexively, to kind of try to help retain some of that health. Physical rehabilitation, someone becomes an amputee, someone becomes paralyzed, or whatever, someone starts having neurological degeneration from some sort of motor neuron disease or what have you. Or someone struggling with grief. I think that along with the basic needs, the obvious things, food, water, clean clothes, the ability to keep themselves clean, stay warm, stay safe, stay dry, I think an important part of the recovery is going to be a restoration of the ability to hold to the musical traditions, to either connect or reconnect with the traditions of music, of gathering together around music, of taking part in singing the old spirituals and hymns, the mountain gospel. I think that's going to have a lot to do with just helping people grieve, recover. So, what I'd like to do is I'd like to see if any of the musically inclined people from that area, if any of you have actually become one of the subscribers of my channel, I would like to work out, start the talks about how to get instruments back into the hands of the people of Appalachia. Mountain dulcimers, mandolins, guitars, obviously fiddles, banjos, resonators, whatever it is. I obviously can't fund this whole thing. I have many instruments. I could donate some of those to this cause, but and I know that's not on anyone's radar right now, but maybe even just a small, set of instruments in a location for people to come across them and sit and play. Just, go to a church like a donation pickup site or distribution center or whatever, and they can just see an instrument sitting off in the corner, and if they know they have permission to play and get whatever kind of relief or blessing or whatever they might get from it, to bless the people in the center or in the church or whatever the location is with the talents God has given them, I think that might have a lot of worth and benefit. Obviously, those people who are closer to that area would have a better feel for when these kinds of things can happen, but I think that it would be beneficial to at least get the idea floating around. In many cultures, in many areas of the country, what I've noticed is after a massive catastrophe, especially in places like, especially in the more rural communities, one of the first things they do after the main relief effort is over and recovery has begun is they'll set up a music festival. Turn it into a fundraiser for people to come and visit, but it's also a showcase, a celebration of the local survivors and musicians celebrating, mourning, remembering, whatever they need to do. So that's just my thought. I'm just putting that out there. I'm wearing my wrist braces again, so I have that problem with the self-muting. I apologize if my gumming isn't very energetic today. I've been having a very rough last week, truth be told, and even with all the videos that I've been doing. Many of you could probably tell that I'm fading quickly in many of them. My stamina goes, my speech goes, my tone drops out. I begin to appear lethargic. It's just part and parcel of the whole gig. But anyway, again, I'm not quite sure. It seemed from the last video that I did that this setup I have for the microphone recorded pretty well and played back pretty well when I uploaded the videos. So again, open invitation. If you guys have any comments about the audio quality, please let me know. What I'm most interested in is if you can tell the difference between when I'm using my thumb pick and when I'm just finger picking. Because that kind of distinction in the audio pickup is kind of important. Got a different action from my other guitars, so I'm still playing with it, getting used to it. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you think about the audio, whatever. This idea of if anybody would think it's a good idea or would want to be a point of contact in that area, start getting musical instruments back into the hands of people. Because I mean, once people, truth be told, once people get into these hot tents that what's his name, John? I can never remember his last name. John, from the channel that goes around and highlights, well, used to go around and highlight all of the old Appalachian businesses and families and farms and whatever. John, if you're watching this, if you're one of my new subscribers, forgive me for not paying more attention to these things. You do great work. Even before the hurricane, you're doing excellent work now. But those people celebrating Appalachia, Tipper and the Presleys, Presley girls, Tipper and Matt, little brother Matt, Blind Pig and the Acorn, all of those people who are interested in preserving the culture of Appalachia, the music, and spiritual connection to the music, and probably you're going to find it easy to imagine the benefit of even like, I don't want to say cheap, but inexpensive instruments that can withstand a little bit of abuse inside of the unideal environment of a hot tent. That's why I brought John up. He's actually running with this whole thing that people aren't allowed to have the tiny cabins people wanted to build. So now the focus has switched from cabins to hot tents that can take the wood stoves. By the way, my effort on the wood stoves hopefully gains ground, especially now that people are focusing on hot tents, because those things will burn down a hot tent. The ones that are on Amazon and the one like in the video that I did demonstrating the danger. Anyway, links abound. I've tried to put the links to the safer stoves everywhere. I sent one to Tim. Hopefully he has it, receives it, and they can examine it and explore the benefits of it very quickly. But anyway, I think it would be very beneficial for those who have uh, decided to stay on their land in the hot tents with the wood stoves and everything else to have access to instruments, to have something to do during the long hours of darkness, whatever, while they're trying to stay warm, stay comforted, stay focused on the goodness of God and His faithfulness, especially if they were using music to do that before. So, maybe not one for every tent, but there's got to be at least a few in a local gathering of people that can uh, gather together and have some people that are gifted and skilled in music that can play uh, for each other and soothe and uh, establish that tradition of gathering on porches and playing around music and talking around music, strumming and gumming, picking and grinning, whatever you want to call it, and just bring some of that communal healing, some of that soul cleansing uh, to people who have suffered so much and are continuing to suffer. Any kind of relief that can be brought in that vein, I think, is going to be important. So anyway, if any of you that have subscribed or watching these videos are interested in at least preparing to get something like that established, please let me know. Like I said, I can't fund everything. I can do a little bit, but a little bit in the hands of the Lord. Whether it's loaves and fishes, my earnest desire for the healing and healthfulness of a people that have suffered so much loss. The Lord can take our little and do much with it. So until next time, I'm probably going to be getting much more familiar with this guitar. It feels great, by the way. Soundboard, the neck, everything feels wonderful. The strings that it came with, I have no problems with. The action feels good. The body's comfortable. And then whatever you guys can pick up of the sound quality from my little microphone setup here, I like it. I bought this through Sweetwater in Indiana online. Again, this is a Recording King Dirty 30s size 0 Wrangler acoustic guitar. Anyway, more later. Have a wonderful and blessed remainder of your weekend. God be with you, protect you, defend you. And make His face shine upon you and give you peace. Until next time.